Have you ever experienced the following? When you've had so many thoughts inside your mind, sparring for space, it makes it so much harder to focus on the task at hand. It's so difficult to operate efficiently and effectively when your mind is cluttered. You're so busy trying to hold on to those important thoughts. There's barely any headroom left for thinking about the thoughts that you need to be involved in the current moment. You're constantly trying to catch up with yourself. I have to remember to do this, and I have to remember to call this person. Oh, drat, I didn't check this, or I didn't put enough time for this, or what do I have next Thursday? I don't know if you've ever experienced you're in the middle of the Amidah and you've taken a break from learning, from work. You've left the house for a few moments, and then you say Shema, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu. Oh, I forgot to take out the rubbish. Hashem Echad. It's so easy to be in a matzav where our minds are so cluttered. I remember when I first met Reb Shlomo Volby and Reb Mordechai Zuckerman, who then from there I was zeicher to meet, and Baruch Hashem building an amazing relationship with Rabbi Yitzchak Rudzinski. One of the first things they said in order to deal with this in a calm way, in a responsive way, a responsible way, carry with you a little notebook. And as all of you know, I have my little notebook and my pen. And during the day, if a thought comes up in my mind that I need to remember, I write it down. But also, Chevra, something else which I find really important is in the morning journaling. In the morning, I journal my Seder Hayom, the things that I need to do today. And obviously, I've got my calendar, but I have a journal. And in my journal, I start my journal, my gratitude list. But then on my journaling in the morning, what things do I have planned for today? How do I want to turn up to them? What's my way of being? And this nakuda of journaling, whether you've got your little notebook with you and you're writing down important thoughts. For example, some of us who are in another chabura right now, what's our avodah? Our avodah is any negative thought that comes up, you write it down. Any single time a person says, I can't do it, you write it down. Why? Because journaling, taking something out of your mind and putting it down on paper is going to revolutionize the space, the bandwidth within your mind. Because so much of the time, again, my thinking owns me instead of me being aware and relating to my thinking in a healthy way. And as we said at the beginning, it really takes up space. And it could really take up space in an unhealthy way. So to have that notebook, and to write down what's on my mind at that particular moment. And we say what's on my mind because it's not my mind. Again, there's the fact that I think, and then there's the content of my thinking. And there's only so much energy. If I'm placing my attention and energy on this, then my energy and attention is being taken away from that. And who says that this is important to me as that over there? So for example, if I'm with my children, I want my focus and attention to be with my children. Not on, 1 minute, next Thursday, what did I tell him now? Did I tell him I'm going to have that appointment? Or I'm not going to have that appointment? You hear what I'm saying, Chevra? That there's only a certain amount of energy. And the energy is being used up. The question is, where is it being used up? Is it being used up in the right places, the important places? Am I spending quality time, which is quiet mind, quiet focused mind with the wife, with the children? Or am I still at work in my head as I'm with the wife and children? You hear where I'm coming from? I'd like you to experiment and experience. Until the next message, write down that which comes up in your mind that draws you away from the present moment. A practice which is a really important practice is if, for example, you catch yourself that you are meant to be focusing on a task with energy. You're meant to be present. And then you hear a voice inside your head that takes you away from that momentary experience. Ask yourself, why is this taking me away right now? Why is this? What am I experiencing discomfort? Is the present moment experience difficult for me? So I'm having this thought? Or is it a thought that's coming up because our nefesh wants to remind us, because the nefesh does everything it can to help and protect us? So a thought may come up a few times because the nefesh is saying, I don't want you to forget this. It's my job to remind you. So the minute you write it down, you can tell the nefesh, everything's okay now. I've written it down. Okay, thank you. So think about these words. Let me know what your thoughts are. And Be'ezras Hashem Yisbarach, together forever, we will live a life where we experience a life of engagement, hope, where we live a life of gratitude and resilience. Be'ezras Hashem Yisbarach, Kol Tov Kol Yeshuas.